Okay, so now it's time to write some tests for our auth/me endpoint. And to do that, we're going to need a new file. So touch a routes/auth.test.js file. So we have our new test here, and add a new test case to it. Now this one is going to use some of the stuff we've seen before, so I'm going to copy and paste a few things here to save some time. Let's take it from the models user test. There we go. So let's take all of this, and then I'm just going to get rid of whatever we don't need. Cool. So a few things we won't need here. Well, we won't need the user for this. Instead, and actually I don't think we'll need any of this stuff, but we will need some stuff from the app test. Let's take some stuff there too. Yeah, I think we'll need both of these. Oh yeah, we'll need super test also. Great. Cool. And I actually don't think we'll need the DB. Instead, let's just take the tokens equals require ... /utils/tokens. And there we go. Now let's create a token. Let's say a LeBron token equals tokens dot create user JWT, and the username will be, actually let's say them token, since I know that that exists in the database. We'll say them token, and we'll say them, and we'll say is admin is false. And then let's describe some auth routes. And the first route we'll describe is the get/auth/me endpoint. And that will be another callback function that has a few tests. The first one will test that an authenticated user receives their profile when hitting endpoint. And that will be an async function that will call that endpoint. And then we have another one here that says that unauthenticated requests receive or throw a 401 error. Cool. So that's what we're going to do here. Nothing super crazy. And to test that, we'll use supertest like before. We'll say const res equals await request app.get to the /auth/me endpoint, but this time we're going to set the authorization. Now you don't have to capitalize it, by the way, it doesn't really matter, but authorization header to be bearer, and we'll say them token. So now we're actually setting the JWT token in the auth header. So this should be an authenticated request. Then we'll expect the res.status code to equal 200. Then we'll expect the response, or at least the res.body.user, to equal ID should be expect.anyNumber. Username should be them. Email should be them@them.us, I think is what I called it. Oh man. Created at expect.anyString, and is admin should be false. Now down here we'll say const res equals await request.get the same endpoint, except this time, since we're not attaching, what did I say, set encoding? Just be set. Since we're not attaching the authorization headers to the request, we should expect the res.status code to equal 401. So if we save this and we run these with something like, I think it's like npm test auth.test.js, let's see what happens. Okay, cool. Const app, should that be .app? Yes, it should. Let's try this again. Nice little typo. Haha, I think that worked. Cool. So intermediate value. Oh, still more typos. That's my bad. So we have await. Oh man, I think VS Code auto corrected some stuff for me. This is what it should actually be. So my apologies if that was hard to read. This is what it should be. Await request app.get.set. Let's try this one more time. Okay, I think that worked. Cool. Yeah. So it expected a 200, but it got a 400. And the other one got a 401 error. Cool. So this passed, which is what we expect, and this one failed, which is also what we expect. And though we should probably write tests for the other routes, in the interest of time, let's cut straight to the solution of what we need to do here. So to get this working, we could just start updating this, but again, I think it actually makes more sense to go into the post model. Well, actually, no, let's do this first. Let's just update this, make a quick easy change here. We'll just say username equals res.locals.user, and then we'll say const user equals await user dot fetch user by username, just like that. So we'll just do this part first, make it super simple, and then pass in the username, which should be part of the decoded token. So now let's run that test again and make sure it's passing. Cool, it is passing, and that's exactly what we want. So again, super simple refactor, but the problem here, and this is what I was trying to get to a second ago, is that this looks like it fixed a lot of things, but it actually just simply fixed the first part of our authentication route. Now, our registration route should be working, our login route should be working, and now our me route should be working. But when it comes to actually creating user-owned resources, most of our code is still going to break because it depends on the email existing on the decoded token. So in the next video, let's go ahead and handle that part as well.